Hello, I'm Sophie and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another video of me talking about books, because I can. This one might be a little shorter though, because I don't know what's like going on in these books, mainly because I haven't read them yet. Because today I will be talking about books that I assume will be some of my favorites. I've got 4 categories here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books. And these are what I predict are going to be my favorites based on those 4 categories. So, let's get started. First and foremost, this is the promising series category, where I have already read the first book, and I am anticipating that the next ones will be pretty good as well. First and foremost, Mistborn. I read, she's a little dusty. I read the first one already, as you can tell. She's a little wrecked. I read this at the end of last year. Incredible. Loved it. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little nervous to do the next 2. I gotta get to them someday. And that someday will hopefully be soon. Because I need to know what happens, but like, I'm scared. I'm anticipating that these are going to be some of my favorite books right here. One lovely series. Like how I love the Scythe trilogy, I'm hoping that'll be the same for this one. Now, the second in this. I don't have the entire series. I only have the first and second book. The Obelisk Gate. Obelisk? Hopefully I'm saying that right. It is the second book in the, what is this called? The Broken Earth trilogy. I always try to call it the 5th season trilogy, but that never sounds right. The Broken Earth trilogy. I've read this. So good. Oh my god. I loved the style of that story, or like how it was written. The style of the writing. There we go. And I want to get into this universe again, because it's just so good. It's just so good. That's it. I don't have the 3rd book, because I didn't know how I was going to like the 5th season, but once I read this, I'll go back to Barnes & Noble and get the 3rd one. Hopefully. Probably. I'm committed now. But those are the only 2 stories or books. The only 3 books that I have in that category. That being said, this next category is 1 book long. It is Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. This category is called Good Author. Well, maybe not good morally. Some of the stuff in these books are a little sus, but I'm sorry, I just use sus. Some of the stuff in these books are a little but I am deciding to look past that because I love Haruki Murakami's work. I just bought this at a Japanese bookstore in California. We were in Little Tokyo, and there was a bookstore. And, of course, he's a Japanese author. They're gonna feature him. So, I bought this because a friend is currently reading it, and I was gonna read it with them. So, I'm gonna be reading this soon, and I love the worlds of Haruki Murakami's books, so I'm assuming this will also be on that list, on this shelf. Alright, this next category is called It Sounded Good, and I'm excited. They're both huge, they're ginormous, and they're a bit of dark fantasy. I don't think they're dark fantasy, they're more like mythological. Like they've got like, well, one of them is. The other one, I'm not really sure. They're fantasies, and they're huge. And they both have black covers. I just realized. That's kind of nice. Why aren't they on the same show? Anyways, the first one is Black Leopard Red Wolf. Do you see this? Do you see this? I saw this, I think I was on Amazon, whoops, and I was like, girl, sign me up. So, literally bought it, just on the fly. Wasn't even looking for this. And I was like, yes sir. And look at that cover too, like, that was convincing enough. This one sounds so good. I guess I should talk about what these are all about. Maybe we can both be convinced. Well, this one, oh my god, this is a trilogy too, oh my god, exciting. This one is about the main character finding a mysterious boy. The main character always works alone, but then he finds himself in a, like, group to find this kid, and it's a group full of, like, weird unusual people or characters, and love that already. And it's all just like mythological, and it's like a little it's like a mystery, like who is this kid that we're looking for? So it just sounds so good. Like, I think I was sold on the group of ragtag strange characters. Like, that's my favorite all the time. Anyways, flash recap of all these books. Mistborn is about, in like a single sentence, it's about taking down a tyrannical king by the main characters who are Mistborn, and they have the magic of all of these metals to do different things. And that's why they're special, because they can use all the metals instead of just one, because most people can only use one. But the Mistborn can use all of them, and they take down a tyrannical ruler, from this dystopian dark fantasy thing. Yep. Okay. The 5th season is... How do you recap this one? It's kind of like the end of the world, but the world is already bad and then it's just getting worse, and you're kind of just following the characters through that. I don't really know how to describe it, but that resolution though. Whew. Magic. Man, I don't even know. Just read it. It's great. Norwegian Wood. I read the back a few days ago. Let's see. It's a coming-of-age story, like a love story between two college students, apparently. That they both liked each other, but then, like, their friend died, and then, like, they couldn't get together, because, like, that would be kind of weird. Because, like, their friend's dead. So that's what that is. I guess it's just, like, a little love story thing. I don't know if this is gonna get mythical like the other ones. I mean, it's definitely not as long. I mean, Kafka on the Shore wasn't that big. It still got kind of crazy. I'll see. Okay, anyways, back to the categories. That's what all those books were about. Now we're back to, it sounded good, so I bought it. As you probably should with books, but also look at the cover. So this was the first one. Ragtag group goes to find a mysterious boy. This next one, and the last one in this category, is Children of Blood and Bone. A friend of mine read this, said it destroyed them. So, ready, also, behemoth. Something about magic being taken away. So, magic was taken away. Main character has the chance to bring it back. And Tag wants to get rid of magic for good. Once again, look at that cover. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, the final category. Books that I've heard were really good, and that I am also under the same opinion that they probably are. This one has the most in it. Thank you, internet, I guess. Book Talk, BookTube, Bookstagram. Put the word book in front of a social media platform, and it's probably been on there. Let's go. First and foremost, Song of Achilles, all over, everywhere. Madeline Miller, I trust you. I trust you. I read Circe. Incredible. I'm ready to cry. For the description of this, it's basically about Achilles and, what's his name? Oh my god. Frig, how do you say his name? Patroclus? Achilles and Patroclus. I think that's how you say his name. Next! I've heard from a friend, and then I think I've heard on BookTube about this one. Truly devious. This one sounds super cool too. Dark Academia. Murder mystery, I think? Crime mystery. I can't remember if it's a murder. Kind of seems like a murder. Crime, thingy, Dark Academia. What could go wrong? You feel? Then, this one's everywhere. My friend told me about this one. My sister read it already, and she said she cried. I think everyone cried when they read this, except for like one of my friends who said she didn't like it. Anyways, they both die at the end. I'm scared. So, both main characters are ill, and they're both told they have less than 24 hours left to live, okay? Already, wow. These two who are strangers, these two main characters, they become friends and decide to live their last day together, and just, like, live their entire life in this one last day. I'm scared. I'm scared of this one. but I'm assuming it'll be like one of my favorites. Not gonna lie. It's as if that's what this video is about. Anyways, next. Okay. Would this really be a video of mine if I didn't cut to my phone because my camera died? No. And now, we're on this. The Library of the Unwritten. It's about a library in the down below. H-double hockey sticks, whatever you want to call it. It's a library of all the books that authors never finished. And main character is a librarian here, and her job is to make sure none of the characters in these books escape. And then, of course, a character escapes, and he tries to go find his author. So, her job is to get him back into the story. And then it just gets worse because circumstances. I've heard this one talked about on BookTube by a few different authors, and I was like, yes. I literally heard the concept of a library full of books that were never finished, and I was like, sign me up. I literally put it on my list the moment I heard about that. Here she is. Now, the last one of this video is The Vanishing Half. Heard about this one everywhere, essentially. It's about, like, race. I think they're sisters, the two. They're sisters. One of them embraces, I think they're, hold on. Okay, so it's a difference in racial identities. So they grew up in a black community. So one of the sisters identifies as black and just still lives in that community that she's always lived in. And then the other sister is secretly posing as white, or is like passing as white. Like, she has like a white husband, she lives in a white neighborhood. None's the wiser, I suppose. So it's from the 50s to the 90s, and it's about just like family ties, and like the whole race identity thing. Anyways, those are the books that I hope will be favorites. Maybe I'll make a recap video on this one where I can see if I was actually right. If I ever get to reading all of these. If I don't, that'll be sad. If you've read any of these books, tell me if I'm wrong or not. If you tell me a book sucked, I'm gonna read it still, but like, it's great to have that in mind in case my expectations are a little too high. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.